So how did the Yankees fill out the rest of the bullpen and the rest of the bench? That's what we're going to talk about right now. Hey, gang, good morning. I hope you're doing well. So the Yankees play the Tigers tonight, 6:40. So I'll be back with the lineup later on once that comes out. It's not out just yet. So if you're not subbed to this channel, just hit that sub button if you haven't done that yet. I greatly appreciate it. Okay. And I'll make sure that you're kept on the loop of everything. And I thank you so much for the regulars who are subscribed. You're the best. I thank you all and I love you all. Now, with that said, the Yankees have a spot or two in the bullpen that still needs to be finalized, it look like, okay? And at this point, Ron Marinaccio, to me, hasn't solidified that spot just yet. He's coming off a year of injuries last year, and he hasn't put it together in the spring in spring yet. So, and I do think Ian Hamilton's a go, Caleb Ferguson's a go, Victor Gonzalez, Clay Holmes, Cody Poteet, and I'm missing somebody. That's 5, right? It'll come to me. Maybe Nick Ramirez. But there's still 2 spots, okay? One of them, to me, is Clayton Beeter, okay? He's one of the top Yankees prospects, and he's, one of the most highly rated pitching guys in the farm. He's a AAA right now. He's the guy that the Yankees got in the Joey Gallo trade, okay? And at this point, I think he's solidified, at the very least, the ability to secure a bullpen spot in the spring. Maybe even go up to New York with the team. I don't see Will Warren only because May 15th is the deadline for the Yankees to get an extra year of service time. I do think the Yankees are going to keep him down until they get that extra year of service time, and maybe later they'll call him up. I do think if anybody makes the rotation this year, it's Will Warren. I think Clayton Beeter profiles a little bit better for the bullpen, but maybe as a hybrid. He's shown the ability to throw multiple innings, but he profiles extremely well as a reliever too. He would be the one guy, and the other guy would be this guy, Nick Birdie. He's a journeyman, 31-year-old journeyman. He's been around. This guy is throwing darts right now, a flamethrower, and he's shown to be like this year's version of Ian Hamilton. So, and just a straight up power arm, and he's getting guys out. And again, it's coming with low risk. But if any 2 guys can solidify the bullpen, I think it's these 2 guys, okay? And the bullpen's already formidable. Brian Cashman and the Yankees have made some good moves. They've added Cody Morris, Cody Poteet. There's a lot of guys. There's a whole bunch of guys. So, but I think these 2 guys are probably in the front of the pack. Now, transitioning over to the bench, okay? I do think at this point there are 2 solidified spots on the bench. One is Trent Grisham. The second one is a catcher, whether it's Austin Wells or Jose Trevino, who's supposed to be, I think, starting spring this Sunday, his first game. He's coming off a calf strain, so that's a good sign that he's coming back. Now, after that, we don't know. Oswald Peraza and Oswaldo Cabrera have not shown enough. At the very least, Oswaldo Cabrera has not shown enough at this point to solidify a spot. But I do like his versatility to play the infield and the outfield, and I'm going to get to that too. Oswald Peraza, unfortunately, I think the Yankees' window for him has passed. I think he would have been better suited to play the Yankees' third baseman over Josh Donaldson, who I wish well in his retirement. But that opportunity's passed, and I think at this point he needs to play every day in order to secure any value. And at this point, I don't even think it's about trade value. I think it's about giving him a chance to play every day. And if it's not going to be up here, I do think he'll be the first call that the Yankees make if they have an injury to an infielder. Let's just say it's Rizzo. And then they can move DJ to first, and he'd be the first guy to call third, or something like to that effect. So he's still one of the better defenders in the infield, but he needs to play every day. So my guess he's going to be down in AAA. Oswaldo Cabrera, I could possibly see being moved in a trade for maybe another bench piece, or maybe I don't know yet. Okay, I don't know yet, but we'll see. I mean, he's 25. He's kind of taken steps backwards, unfortunately, much to our sadness and disappointment as fans, because we like him. I like him, and I just don't see him, being one of those spots on the bench either. So here's one guy. I was talking with Mikey Madison from 420 Express this morning, NFE from the Strike Zone, and he mentioned J.D. Davis. Okay, he's a 30-year-old. He's also played with the Mets, so he's experienced in New York with the Giants last year. Okay, he had 119 hits in 18 home runs and batted 248 and 480 at bats. Okay, he's a career 261 hitter with 68 home runs. So he's not bad. 61 runs scored, 69 RBIs last year. And he bats righty, he throws righty. Okay, but he also plays the infield and the outfield. So his versatility is there. He would be an upgrade over Oswaldo Cabrera. Could the Yankees package somebody like Ben Wortvet and maybe a Ron Marinaccio, maybe a prospect over to the Giants for him? You know, there's less of a need for him now. He's become expendable since they brought in Matt Chapman and they brought in Jorge Soler. So maybe he's the guy that's going to be expendable. You know, they've mentioned it already. I don't know if he's officially on the block, but this is an opportunity. If I were the Yankees, I would look into. Salary's about $6 million a year, so obviously it would be over 12 or 13 million bringing into the payroll. So offsetting some of that to a degree in a trade would be a wise idea. And I think Marinaccio makes a couple million per, and Broadford make about $1 million. So you're almost offsetting most of the salary, a good chunk of it. So he's one guy, and one guy I mentioned was Will Myers. Okay, 33-year-old journeyman. He's been around too with the Padres, the Royals, and Tampa Bay. When this guy was with Tampa, he murdered the Yankees. Okay, and he still shows the ability to put the ball in play. Okay, these guys would be an upgrade to the bench, in my opinion. And again, Will Myers, but the benefit to both of them is they both play infield and outfield, so they give the Yankees options to in a lot of areas, and that's important. I think at this point the Yankees need options. So Will Myers and J.D. Davis would be how I would consider filling out the bench, and Clayton Beeter and Nick Birdie at this point right now would be how I would consider filling out the bullpen. I'm comfortable with where they're at in the starting rotation. I don't see the need to pursue either Blake Snell or Jordan Montgomery at this point now. You know, because there's 21 days left until opening day. They don't have enough time to prepare for the season. Okay, it doesn't matter what they're doing. So bullpens and blah, blah, blah. They're either choosing between an abbreviated spring or an abbreviated season. They're both represented by Scott Boras, who's going to want a full-blown salary for them, despite of him taking, him depriving these guys an opportunity to be signed by a team. The Yankees have already given Blake Snell 2 chances to sign. They've been rebuffed. So I moved on for Snell. Montgomery at this point, unfortunately, he's not attached to a QO, so he doesn't come with draft picks and international money. So we've talked about that ad nauseum, but he's also going to have 21 days to prepare. He's older. He's 31. And at this point, I would rather go with what we have and let a guy like Luke Weaver, who's pitching tonight, be the bridge, be the guy that they use as a swingman at this point. Okay. And to give protection to Nestor Cortez, to give protection to Carlos Rodon, right? They're both healthy, but they're not exactly where we need them to be right now. But they're healthy, and that's a key. And Luke Weaver can help extend that, prolong that health, okay? We have Marcus Stroman here, too, who's shown to be much better, okay? And he's shown to be pretty good value for the Yankees right now. So you combine that with Garrett Cole, and you combine them with Clark Schmidt, I think the Yankees' rotation's in a better spot. But this will put the Yankees bench in a better spot. This will put the Yankees and bullpen in a better spot. And speaking of the bullpen, you have a guy like Clayton Beeter and you have a guy like Luis Hill. You're also adding guys who can throw multiple innings, which gives them a little bit more padding, a little bit more cushion, right? For them not to have to go out and make an expensive trade for a Dylan Cease or an expensive trade for a Shane Bieber, who I don't think will cost us much. But if they do that, they do that. There's no way in the world I'm giving Spencer Jones for Dylan Cease, but that still remains to be seen. Okay, and I don't think the Yankees are going to do that either. But let me know what your thoughts are. How would you fill out the rest of the bench? I think there's 2 spots open. And how would you fill out the rest of the bullpen? Okay, what would your bullpen look like? Let's get into that. And before I go, I'm going to go over this date in Yankees history. We brought that back, baby. First day, yes, it was yesterday. We talked about Susan Waldman becoming the first female ever to be in a color booth. So today, 26 years ago today, March 7th, the Yankees signed this man. Remember this guy? El Duque. Orlando Hernandez came off the boat, Cuba, the raft, okay, to a 4-year, $6.6 million contract, okay? And he became a damn Yankee legend. He was 32 when they signed him, okay? But he did contribute. to championships. Okay, he won 3 as a Yankee, and he also was with the White Sox when they won in 2005. So he's one of the small group of players with 4 rings. 4. But this day, 26 years ago, El Duque officially became a Yankee. And do you remember how he got his major league start? David Cone was bit by a dog, according an injury. That's when they brought up El Duque to get in that rotation. And that rest was history after that. So that's what I have here right now. If anything else comes out, you'll get it. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you next time.